People always ask me, what's the difference between active investing and passive investing? Guys, let's talk about the biggest differences that I see between an active investor and a passive investor, and why I believe being a passive investor is the best move for most people. So first of all, an active investor is somebody who actively manages his or her investments. This could be something like a day trader, right? If I'm sitting there in front of my computer every single day and I'm checking in, I'm setting these trades and I'm managing them throughout my position, so maybe throughout the day or throughout the week, I still have to put in work. I'm not just setting a trade and forgetting about it. I still have to do the analysis. I still have to open the trade. I still have to decide when I want to close the trade. I have to manage the trade. There's just so much that goes into that process that I'm no longer a passive investor. I'm an active investor. And there's actually a lot of downsides to being an active investor. So first of all, if you're a day trader, like in that example, you're going to have to be able to beat a lot of people in the market. The truth is that most people are not profitable traders because it's very hard to beat professional traders. And if you're not a professional trader, well, chances are you're not going to be a successful one and you're not going to be profitable. And that's the goal with investing, right? We want to create some sort of profit to generate a return on our cash. Another downside to active investing is that you have to have a massive wealth of knowledge, and it's going to take you a lot of time to amass that. So if you decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to be an active investor anyways. I don't care what Austin says. I'm just going to do it. Well, it's going to take you quite a while to generate enough knowledge and create your own strategies that are going to be profitable over the long term. Maybe if you're like a super quick learner, you could get consistent within a couple months. But again, that's a couple months that I'm profiting off of my passive investments while you're still trying to learn how to do the active ones, right? Now, this is not targeted at anybody personally, but I do know that a lot of people just don't realize the difference in the power of using passive income streams as opposed to active income streams. There are some upsides to active investing. I'm not going to say it's all bad. The truth is, if you're an active investor, you could make more money than a passive investor. So if you have that skill set, if you have that ability to generate active income from your active investments, you could easily outperform any passive investor. And the reason is that they're gonna have to pay somebody to manage their investments for them. So even if their manager's doing the same amount of profit as you, whatever that is, maybe 20% a month, well, they're gonna eat up some of that profit because they're on the passive side of things and they're gonna have to pay somebody to do it. So we'll go more into that in just a second. One other thing that I wanted to say about active investors is that it doesn't have to be trading. So trading is one example. Another example might be like Airbnbs. So if you're an active investor, every time you have a guest, you're gonna go to the property, you're gonna greet them, you're gonna make sure they have everything they need, and after they leave, you're gonna be the one that's doing all the cleaning, all the management, answering all the questions that you get. That's active investing. You just created a job for yourself. While you may enjoy it, it's still not as profitable as being a passive investor. The passive investor is that you're not gonna have to do any of that work and you're just gonna generate profit. Being an active investor has its own advantages. It's cheaper to operate that business. You're not having to pay all these other people that are servicing your investment, right? You're able to keep all of that income because you're an active investor. Another active investment is fix and flips. So some people go out and buy real estate that they believe is distressed or maybe undervalued at this point. And what they do is totally remodel the house. They put in new furniture, right? They make it look really nice. That's not really investing because in order to make money, you have to go out and you have to go do work. And that's active investing by definition. Now, let's go ahead and talk about passive investing. Passive investing is very, very different from active investing in the sense that you do not have to go out and do any of the work. I believe personally that there are many advantages to being a passive investor. And one of those advantages is that you can spend your time doing the things that you love while your investments make you money. Being a passive investor means that you're letting your money work for you. So money is tied to some sort of value. So if I see an investment opportunity, I can put money into that investment opportunity and let it run for me. So I could be the passive investor in a trading environment, for example. So we talked about trading earlier. So how can I make trading a passive investment for me? The easiest way to do that is to invest into a hedge fund. If we invest into these hedge funds, we're making some sort of return on our money and we're not having to do anything. That's completely passive. So we're investing our money, our hard-earned cash, and we invest it into these hedge funds. These hedge funds go out and they hire professional traders. They hire people who know exactly what they're doing. They're doing all the heavy lifting for us, and we're just collecting part of the profits. This creates a totally passive environment for us, so we can spend our time doing whatever we want while the hedge fund is hard at work for us. Now, another type of passive investment is, let's say I want to invest in real estate. So it doesn't even have to be Airbnb. Let's just talk about long-term rentals. Long-term rentals, I could buy up 10 houses, right? And if I want to be the passive investor, I want to be the person that just invests money into these properties and somebody else takes care of them. They're renting it out long term. So they're preparing the property and then they're renting it out long term to my tenants and they're managing the tenants. What if there's a call at 3 a.m.? Hey, the refrigerator stopped working. My food is going to go bad. Well, I'm not the one taking the call because I'm not managing that investment. And I purposefully position myself in that way because I don't want to be the first line of defense, so to speak, when it comes to managing that investment. That investment is meant to be completely passive income for me. They're dealing directly with the management company, and that management company is servicing their needs. Now, of course, the management company is going to take a fee for that, and they're going to charge you a percentage of your monthly revenue. But for me, that's worth it, right? If I can have somebody do all the hard work for me with my investment, I'm definitely okay with paying them part of my profits every month because I want to be a passive investor. I want to be the guy that's leveraging all my cash because I can invest in so many more things if I'm being a passive investor, and I can make way more money as well because I'm not limited to, hey, I bought 10 houses and now I have to manage all these houses and now I don't have time to invest into other things. Well, that just limited my income. I don't want to cap my income like that. I might be making less per house because I'm using a management company, but instead of 10 houses, I can invest in 100, or I could also invest into all these other things because I have time. I have all the time in the world. I'm a passive investor. My money is working for me. Now, another example of a passive investment is something like Bitcoin mining. Now, this isn't one that I talk about a lot, but it's a completely passive stream of income. And a lot of my students like to invest in this because they're able to buy these Bitcoin miners. They're able to place them in a facility which is managed with licensed electricians on staff, with people who understand how to operate this investment, and they're operating this investment for me and making sure that my Bitcoin miners are running properly. They're managing that entire investment for me, and it's producing passive income for me. I don't have to do anything. I could never touch my miner for its entire existence and still make money from it every single day. It all depends on who you're connected to, who you're partnering with for these investments, and who your operators are. And it's very, very important to work with the right operators, right? I don't want my operators to run away with my Bitcoin miners. I want to make sure that it's somebody that I trust, right? It's somebody that I've worked with before, somebody that's very, very credible, and somebody that I can trust to operate this investment for me so that I don't have any headaches and I can focus my time on doing the things that I love. Guys, hopefully that makes sense. This is the difference between an active investor and a passive investor. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.